Woo. Hey. Um, Welcome everybody to the Murray Amateur Radio Club's in-person first Thursday of the month meeting. Today we're going to talk about a new program that MARC is introducing, and it's called the Elmer program. And we're going to learn about how it can help new members and allow our older members, and when I say new members and older members, I'm talking about experience in ham radio, to either teach a class or to receive a class. And we're going to talk about that. So let's see if this works. Okay, so the question is, what is an Elmer? So as a ham radio operator, you'll hear the term Elmer all the time. A ham radio Elmer is someone who personally guides and mentors somebody with less experience, okay? Either before or after earning a license, okay? It doesn't refer to any particular person. It just refers to someone who is more experienced to help the newcomers. As a matter of fact, the word Elmer actually means mentor, right? It's unique to ham radio. So Rick Lindquist, he traced the origin of the term to the March 1971 QST article written by Rod Newkirk, who had a column called How's DX? And DX is a term for long distance, okay? And in this column, he had a person who was mentoring him by the name of Elmer. And in the column, he said, I wish everybody had an Elmer. That is how the term Elmer started. At least we think that's when it started, okay? And so the term has stuck, and instead of saying, Justin, he knows everything there is about ham radio, I think everybody should have a Justin. Okay, that's the same thing, right? So Elmer is nothing more than a term that means to help. So every ham radio operator has had an Elmer. Can I see by the show of hands who has had an Elmer? Okay, and it looks like Dan is pointing to his Elmer. Excellent. And it turns out you are very fortunate to have an Elmer like Ted. I am amazed at the knowledge that he has. And so he is very, anybody who's able to work with Ted is a fortunate person. And if someone ever calls you an Elmer, that is a compliment, okay? Because that means that you're teaching something to somebody who someone's learning. So starting this month, that would be in August, the Murray Amateur Radio Club is starting our own Elmer program. And I'm not sure if the right way of saying it is Elmering program or an Elmer program, but you know what I mean. So anyone in need of understanding the concepts or the terms or anything within the ham radio world can join in. Okay, if you have a question about something, you can request an Elmer, which means that if you know something about ham radio, you can be an Elmer. Okay, so here's the deal though. We just don't want anybody to be an Elmer, okay? You have to kind of know what you're talking about. So the MARC leadership developed some qualifications for becoming an Elmer. And so these are the qualifications that that you must meet. Okay. I'd love to have a 1-by-1. So since none of us will ever do that, let's go to plan B, shall we? Plan B is if you know a lot about a particular subject, then you can be an Elmer, okay? And I know that everybody, there's some fundamental facts in the human condition, okay? Rule number 1, and this isn't any given order. There's always somebody that knows more, okay? There's always somebody that's richer. There's always somebody that's poorer. There's always somebody in better health. There's always somebody in worse health. You know, that's just the way we are, okay? Don't discount yourself for not being that person who doesn't know something, okay? Everybody can participate in sharing what they have to offer, what they've learned. Okay, I don't care what your experience is. You've learned something in the past, and you're good at it. And too many times we think that we don't know anything, that we can't help someone else. And I'm here to tell you that is not the case. If a guy like me who has an IQ of 3, whatever IQ means, can come up here and be the president of the club and enjoy the Murray Amateur Radio Club with everybody, then everybody else can do the same thing. You know, there's nobody, I don't possess any magic. Ted doesn't possess any magic. Russ doesn't possess any magic. What's the difference between people? What's the difference between an Elmer and a non-Elmer? I'm going to open it up for hand raises. What's the difference between those two types of people, a mentor and a mentee? Yes, Russ.
An Elmer will share what he knows.
An Elmer will share what he knows. Okay. I'm just repeating it for the Zoom.
Frank will keep it all to himself.
A who?
Frank.
Frey?
Frank.
Frank. Ah, so we have a name of an Elmer, and we have the other person is a Frank. Okay. I hope there's no Franks in this room. Okay, and that is very true. I think having a desire is something that is there, right? Let me ask Bob something. I'm putting you on the spot. What did you do professionally?
Excuse me?
What did you do professionally before you retired?
I packed a gun, a badge, and cuffs.
So Bob, for how long?
35.
35 years was a cop. Bob was a cop for 35 years, okay? I bet you learned a thing or two on the street. Yeah. Did you teach
Yes.
any other cops about what you learned? And what was the difference between those cops and you?
Some of them didn't know what they were trying to do.
So what did you have that they didn't have?
Experience,
Experience.
and that's it.
That's the magic word.
Well, that and desire.
And desire. Yeah.
You have to have desire to try to learn.
Excellent. Excellent. So we touched on two of the most important points of being an Elmer, and that is experience and desire, right? Everybody can have the desire. So what does it take to gain the experience, right? That's some people they join ham radio and they think that ham radio is nothing but doing nets, okay? And for some people, that is perfect. That's all you need to do, okay? For other people, you're looking to do other stuff. And what is it the one thing that I say when somebody says I'm just a technician? Well, what is it that I say and do when I slap them around? I tell them never, ever, ever, ever say that in front of me, to say I'm just a, put your license here, you know? Because we have found out that being a technician, it's amazing the number of things that you can do as a operator holding a technician license, right? So there you go. So we don't have to worry about the qualifications in red, thank goodness. So we are going to start, like I say, we're going to hold our initial Elmer classes. It'll be either at station 81 or 83. And what I'm talking about is, as you are requesting Elmers, we are going to have the first meeting at the fire station. At least I would like to have it at the fire station. After the initial visit, the class can be moved to another public location, okay, like the library or some other place. Notice that I'm discussing public locations, okay? Under certain circumstances, the Elmers can have meetings at the person's home. However, the MARC leadership strongly suggests that we hold the Elmer sessions in a public location. Can anybody tell me why that is the case? Anybody have any ideas? Is that a good idea or a bad idea?
Good idea.
Good idea?
Yeah.
Why?
Find you kind of get stop some of the gossiping,
Okay.
and it also gets so people can feel comfortable, not feel.
Okay, having people feel comfortable, that is critical when you're trying to learn something. Yes, Dan?
Oh. Stuff we push look at the questions, we learn that on radio, so it's meant to be a very public thing. It's not meant to be, you know, a bunch of secret conversations. It's supposed to be as publicly accessible as possible.
You know, I like that idea. The whole, Dan says that the whole idea of ham radio is for public consumption, right? And so what a better place to have the mentoring program, the Elmer program, as in a public location. How many people have done public service events? That's always done in the public, right? So there's less of an issue if the Elmering is done in a private location versus a public location. But there's liability issues, exactly. Exactly. So
One reason I like going down into Murray Park when we do the 4th of July parade, because I can set up more stuff and try and get more interest in ham radio.
yeah, yeah.
Because I have my battery pack out there, my portable antenna, set up 3 radios.
You know, that is a great idea. When I was thinking about public locations, I'm thinking of an enclosed building, right? But a park is a great place to do an Elmer session. Yes, Russ.
I contacted the Indiana State Fair. They have a station that they are running at the fair and making contacts with people as a special event station in a way of promoting themselves at the fair.
Yeah, yeah. Excellent.
And their call sign W9 ISF.
ISF
Indiana State
State
Fair.
Fair. Yeah. Excellent. Excellent. Okay, so there's no time limit. In other words, if it requires more than one class to talk about something, let's say that the class is about how to work an MFJ 959 Charlie antenna analyzer. It may be that it takes a couple of meetings for that to happen. So my point is there is no time limit to the number of classes someone may request. It all depends on the availability and the requirements of the Elmer and the mentee.
I got a question.
Yeah,
Say class, but it's not really that formal, right? Like it could be somebody that needs help with something.
exactly.
Class kind of makes it sound like what we normally do at the normal meetings where you gotta prepare for it. It's gonna be a lot simpler than that, I assume, right?
It needs to be informal. Well, most of the times it is informal. It depends on the mentor and the mentee, right? The Elmer and
But let's say I'm a mentee
uh-huh.
and I just need help programming my radio.
Yeah.
Nobody needs to teach a class. They can just show up on Thursday and help me do it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. Speaking of that, the initial Elmer classes were looking to be held on the fourth Thursday of each month. Okay. Unless other arrangements were made. So does anybody remember show of hands, who is part of the original MARC group where we had classes every single Thursday? Remember those days?
Yep.
Every week the Marine Amateur Radio Club had classes just like this here. We did. Why did we do that? Why did I want that?
So we can learn more.
Yes.
And we can participate and make like go kits and antennas and get the feel of what it takes to do that kind of stuff.
You know, it was an amazing thing to see a bunch of dry sponges. You know what I mean? Just sucking in all of the ham radio knowledge you could get in. I learned just as much as you guys did. It was absolutely incredible. We had a snowball going, didn't we? And it really made a huge difference.
Got some, you got some recruiting done at the same time too. didn't you?
Yeah, we got some recruiting done as well. So a lot of great positive synergy was going on during the first few years of MARC. And then you knew everything. So we had to cut the class down to 3 times a month, right? So we're going to add the fourth Thursday will be the initial Elmer class, and we'd like to have it either at this here or the EOC, Station 83. And for that matter, there's no reason why 82 can't be there. And for that matter, there's no reason why you just can't meet at the park, you know? It depends on who's the mentor and the mentee, okay? If there's a male and a female, then for sure, I want to meet here. I want to meet some public location, okay?
Female,
Yeah, like,
same people want to have at least 2 of the same, 2 females.
yeah. So if Marcy had a question, I would have Karen to come along with her. Okay. Of course, I don't think I've ever seen Marcy and Karen alone in my life. They've always been together. But that's a good thing. Okay. So if you would like to become an Elmer, then there'll be a form on the website. I'm designing it right now that you can fill out. Consequently, if you would like to be Elmered, then there's another form that you'll be able to fill out, okay? And it'll be on the website here in the next couple weeks, okay? That's my goal. Yes, Dan?
It's that looking for an Elmer, if there's, on the forum, there's options for certain things you want to focus on to maybe attract certain others.
So maybe, you're talking about that slide right there.
To it.
So this is a small list of things that you might ask for. This is just what I could come up with on the fly. I made this presentation this morning. And I'm just thinking of things that I've done or things that I would like to be able to do. And I put that on the suggested topics. There's lots more. But on the website, I will have this list there. And, basically, I'm not going to have a drop down that you selected. I'm going to have maybe it's and maybe Jan can help me out with this, a way to come up with a pop-up list of a bunch of topics, like these will certainly be on them. And then you just type it in a text. Say, hey, I want help with Skywarn, okay? And I want help with
Moon bounce.
what? Moon bounce. Okay, well, I would like help with moon bounce too. That would be a call into Ted. Randy. Yes, Dave.
Some of the other nets I'm on that are out of state, they mentioned like, so there's in that area they have Skywarn nets, especially areas where they would be having like tornadoes and stuff.
Right.
The only thing back here I have is the Skywarn thing in December, but I nice that more.
Aries, let's see, when was it? A number of ECs ago, he was really working with the weather people down by the airport. And that stuff kind of went by the wayside, partly because the Salt Lake Weather Bureau that has their office there, they did a bunch of changeover and a change of management. And so they still have ham radio equipment there, but nobody's been in that office yet for a couple of years. Yes, Dan.
So I'm trying to read it, but I was wondering about contesting awards that you can.
Contesting awards?
See there on there.
No, it's not. So again, this is just this is an abbreviated list.
I was also
Okay.
wondering if,
I also don't see one link. It's a,
yeah.
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 we did a seminar on WinLink a couple of years ago. And the room was packed. It was standing room, and we got a lot of people up on WinLink.
I think you like women.
I hate it. It's the worst program ever written.
It's.
Well, yeah, I mean, when I typed out packet radio, I include all of that in there.
Don't you mean?
When link
digital
is,
modes?
I'm sorry?
Don't you mean? digital
There's also
modes?
digital modes up there. Yeah, I mean, hey, Jeff, I keep on getting a pop-up that says it's the IMAP Comcast.net logging in, and I keep on clicking OK and it comes back.
Yeah, sorry about that.
No, is it, can I cancel?
Yeah, cancel.
Okay,
Exit Outlook.
okay.
It turned off out.
Yeah, I just close Outlook.
Are there any like coordination for groups of people trying to get like a single award at the same time, kind of comparing notes and a little internal club competition?
I know that some clubs do that. We don't. But that's one thing great about ham radio. there's no FCC rule that says you can't be members of multiple clubs, right?
What, you told me that?
I'm sorry?
You told me I was gonna be banned for life if I ever went to another club.
Yes, that's for you though. Everybody else can go to other clubs. Justin can't. Yes, Ted.
Well, clubs, Davis is doing a Elmer Fest this weekend. I cannot be there because I'm going to Idaho. But one of the things you, as Cam, we need to embrace is other local talent. There's like 5 clubs and
Your audio is faded out. I don't know if you moved away from the microphone or what, but we can't hear you.
Not talking. I'll repeat back what he says.
this Saturday, in which they just have a pavilion, people sitting at tables, and you can walk up and say, tell me more about DMR, tell me more about Hackett or Windlink or Podium. And somebody will be able to answer your question.
So this is where in Davis County?
David,
So Davis County is having a Elmer Fest this coming weekend.
Send me information on that and I will post it and email it out.
Can you email me that?
I can. Elephants, okay, I'm just gonna send you a link to their homepage.
Okay, fantastic. n7xdl.dan@gmail.
I've emailed you before.
So Dan, what kind of contests are you like interested in anything in particular or just?
Right now, I'm just exploring so many as I've got this for UHF, VHF, we're working on some hotspot, playing around with that. Eventually, I'm just gonna wait till he's out of town, go to his house, still some stuff.
So Dan is a new ham. He just got his technician license just a little bit ago, and he decided to try for his general and extra, which he got. And so he is looking to expand his horizons and get into stuff, and seems like he's very interested in contesting. So that's going to be fun to see him get involved with that.
Okay, so I have
You can do DMR.
through radio ID, I have the DMR. Okay. QSL card. But that's it. Are you a member of ARRL?
Well, tell them when and where.
We'll talk about that.
We're talking about.
Okay, we can talk more about that.
Okay, so the Davis County Amateur Radio Elmer Fest is August 9th, starting at 9 a.m. What's an Elmer Fest? It's an opportunity for you to ask questions, get ideas, and get help from some of the club Elmers. An Elmer is a ham. Well, I already know what a Elmer is a ham who is willing to help and share their information with you. We have Elmers talking about CW, digital operations, programming radios, and more. So come on down and visit with us, and that's at the Centerville Library. Let's see, here are the details. The Elmer Fest will be at the park next to the Centerville Library. It's called the Porter Walton Park at 95 South, 400 West in Centerville, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m.
Don't
Thanks.
play it. Because they, if there's only a few people at 10:30, they'll pack it. So, show up at 9, they will have donuts.
But you said.
You can't have a ham fest without donuts.
I'd like to sign up for that, because I know some people, and so it'd be fun to do that. I do CW for those, are there any CW people in this room?
I'm learning.
Okay.
I'm in active classes.
Long Island or who?
Yeah, Long Island.
So it's an opportunity to leverage these old farts that know a bunch of stuff. And some young kids who are doing some cool things. Like Elijah Shades, have you met him?
Yes.
No.
He's amazing.
Yeah.
So I got to tell you, Ted, because I've been dealing with Long Island CW Club for about a year now.
Yeah.
And I can comfortably do the letter E as fast as you want it.
Whoever wants it to learn CW, this is the #1 training you must remember. Get on the air every day. Practice it every day.
So the trick for CW is get on the air every day, according to Ted.
6 letters, the 10 numbers, and the 3 or 4 punctuation characters, and then get on the air. The scariness of being on the air will help you learn it.
Do you know Mark Hodgin? I'm sure you do.
Yeah.
Yeah. We go way back.
Sorry.
So I'm working with him,
Okay.
trying to anyway.
He's a good guy.
We have a lot of times. Huh?
He does photos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, does anybody have any questions on Elmering? Being an Elmer? Wanting an Elmer? Okay, that's all I have. It was a little shorter class today, but I knew that we were gonna have some discussions, and I don't believe in having a meeting just to have a meeting. So, thanks everybody for coming down, and expect the forms on the website here in the next couple weeks. Give me a couple weeks to get that finalized, okay? And we'll see you next week in the next in-person meeting.
May I make a suggestion before we adjourn?
Yes, go ahead, Ted.
You don't have to find an Elmer locally. My favorite place to go for information about ham radio is YouTube. I love YouTube because there's all these people, some of them know what they're talking about.
Emphasis on some.
Some, but you can learn, you can see a lot of things. I emailed a guy who was responsible for holding a field day where their designation was 12 Alpha. Now, for those of you who know what field day is, 12A is incredible. That means you have 12 transmitters operating simultaneously inside of a 1,000-foot circle.
Yeah.
That's insane. And he talked about how he does it and why they do it and so on. So you reach out beyond your local ham clubs to the national level, joining the AUG, for example. I'm a lifer.
So Ted is suggesting to our club members to look outside of the Murray Amateur Radio Club for their Elmers. And this is why Ted is not invited here. We love Ted. So, you know, regardless of what I'm looking to learn, I always go to YouTube University to see what's there. You know, when I was building my Go kit, you know how many hundreds of hours I watched on YouTube? There's a lot of crap out there, but there's a lot of good stuff out there. Okay.
People know what they're talking about.
Some of them do. Well, okay, I won't go any further, but anyway, thank you everybody for coming tonight, and I'm going to stop the recording.
If anybody wants to talk about antennas, I brought a few.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what you got.